Shalom, family. Glory be to God and blessed be the Lamb. You know, there's at least 8 major cities, but there's more. But listen to the list: Houston, LA, Atlanta, Jackson, Mississippi, parts of California, Philadelphia, all your major urban areas where most of you African Americans and Negroes gather. There's been an explosion in HIV. An explosion. What's really happening? Don't even let it get to full-blown AIDS. This is what they're saying. Think about that and what that really means in the black community. I'm going to focus on the black community because you are the ones infecting each other. We've seen this all play out before. And by the way, to the young people who think because they have a pill, you have to think again, man, how many times do I say that you're at war? You're at war. Start to think like you're at war. If you thought like you were at war, you would see things like this. You have to perform some type of attack on the pharmaceutical industry. See? And then guess what? Within a matter of 2 years, how many have I killed? How many have I killed? Okay then, so quit wishful thinking and man thinking short term. But let's get back to what I was saying. Do you not understand that people ill of character, somebody gave it to me in a club. She did not understand. No, boo-boo. You gave it to you. You gave it to you. Can I just get, in the weeds morally a minute? You know, you do understand that people who are on some type of moral code don't get HIV unless they have a spouse or a partner that they had the unfortunate circumstance of being with who's not on the same moral code. Outside of that, see, we're going to go in the weeds tonight, man. It's daytime, what I'm talking about tonight. But ring off names of people she didn't or he have given it to. Now, where did it all start, though? See, let me take you backwards, man. See, you forced me to do this. You forced me to do it because the teachers won't to tell you, the historians won't, your mamas and daddies won't. Nobody wants to tell you, young people. You do understand. Let me give you a brief summary of HIV on a sociological level. What are HIV monkeys? If you see any monkeys, don't fondle them. By all means, do not fondle the monkeys. But at any rate, this when it hit the shores of New York, it was markedly in like a 3-mile area in New York. In this little 3-mile area was nothing but homosexual brothels. You know what a brothel is? It's where people go to have sex with strangers or meet strangers to have sex with. That's what brothels are. And in this 3-block district, it was full of homeless. In some kind of way. So why didn't they just cordon off, or what's the word? Dang it. My mind this morning. Isolate that area. And can't nobody leave. Y'all can have, we're going to bring you whatever you want, but you can't leave this area. Instead, it's allowed to leave New York and travel throughout the United States in this country of deep degradation and immorality, and it's spread like wildfire. Thousands. I know for a fact, every black family in the Houston area knows someone who died from HIV during that era. Every last one of us. Every last one of us. In the Acres Home area, at 1.3 out of 5 of, and this was back in the early 2000s, 3 out of 5 of everybody between 18 and 35 was HIV positive. These are the numbers of the CDC, not my own. But some of us follow this kind of stuff. Think about that. And who's the people that are doing the infecting? And who's the people getting infected? Who are these people? Can we just be straight a minute? Do I have to say certain things? You don't want me to, but this is Houston. You know better than I do. I don't even want to focus on your sexual mores. No, I want you to focus on what's out to get your ass due to your acceptance of the behavior. I'm trying to keep it clean. You're going to run from agency to agency to agency trying to find help. That's what's going to happen. Man, anyway, moving on. I'm talking to those who would be upset. Okay? Because we're not trying to upset you. We're trying to keep you alive. And the rest of those who look like you alive. Okay? We need you alive. You are of no use to the collective being dead over something that's avoidable. You want to say, or for 2 hours of it, max, you altered your life forever, made yourself vulnerable. And then some of you to get angry and know you're infected and go and infect others purposely. Then you to give these wild-ass sex gathering parties that's killing your ass. You think that that's not an act of the enemy to put a bunch of young people in the same place with sex and drugs and music and advertise it that way, make it halfway semi-secret, and then make statements like what happens here stays. You can't even figure it out, huh? See, you don't want to say it. They died for wanton sex with strangers, like you doing right now. You know, I was going to get to the THC ban, but no, we're going to stay on this topic because I only have 14 minutes left. So there are people out there that will hurt you. You do know that, right? You do understand that there is a spiritual transaction when you have sex. You do know that, right? There was a connection made for sex within the boundary, or I'm so carnally and flesh filled that I'm driven by it. I'm driven by it. At this point, I would recommend celibacy. At this point, if it's dead, listen, if you can produce 2,800 new cases, how many cases was it? In just 1 week right after, no, 2 weeks after a certain event happened here, and you got almost 3,000 new infections. And let's break the numbers down. I know they've been altered somewhat, but you add number one subset driving the new acquisition of HIV as of 3 years ago as it pertains to black people or black women over 60. And I'm like, what the hell? What's really happening here? What's really happening? And then right underneath that, it was black men between 28 and 35, I think. Everything ain't equal. Some things are not good. And what's happening with all this on the spiritual level? I got 9 minutes. What's happening with this on the spiritual level? What part of you are at war? You don't understand. and that there will be casualties. You looking for bullets, knife fights maybe, bombs dropping. No, 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 no. The idea of war is not, listen, the idea of war is removing my enemy from the battlefield. I wouldn't give a damn if when we got on the battlefield if they all went home and had a cup of tea. You wanted to call it. It doesn't matter what you call it. Don't you see the specificness of it? And then around from starting in 85 or 87 up to 2004, we had a slew of brothers coming out the woodwork talking about they down low brothers. I told you that we can't hold this stuff in no more, man. These are the DL brother was largely, at least in the 80s and 90s, got kids of our wife, but we have sex with. You see, I can't even say it because of the children. You know what I'm saying, but imagine that mentality, because it is the same mindset that don't mind going out here, doing what they do, and knowing that they're already infected. But it's not their problem. It's yours. How the hell are you still having unprotected sex? Come on, man. I mean, what do you think? Where do you think you live? And nowhere in this city, what are people crazy? Even with the rap world, I heard one lady rattle off a list of rappers who she'd infected. Now, the difference in her doing it today as opposed to the 80s, she would have got killed. She'd have got killed. I'm telling you. Different generation. Lots of them got killed. They're not telling you that either. Lots of people were murdered because the people who they infected felt like they had been violated. It moved a little slower, but by its nature, it's much more effective over the long run if you're out to kill people. And that's what happened if you caught HIV in the 80s. You died. It was just a matter of time. My sister, my brother-in-law, several friends I've lost. I've helped to bury them. So I feel like I have the right to talk about it. Okay? There are people out here who will hurt you. And not just your life, but the lives of the community, starting with your inner workings of your family members. Everything changes. And you keep thinking that one day something out there isn't going to take away the medicine. I suggest that if you think that way, you should start to stockpiling it. Because if I'm your enemy, it's not a matter of, man, if I'm going to do it. It's a matter of when I'm going to do it. Okay? Think like that if you want to live through this here. And secondly, to insult anyone, I'm just saying that infatuation and sexual immorality these days, it could cost you your life. Your life. And if it's allowed, then you have to, wait a minute, hold up. I got off the beaten path. I was doing fine. You know what happened at the latest trial, right? All of the bleeding hearts came out. They were saying things like, she's already suffered enough. She's already going to die. Why should we give her prison time? Due to the emotional nature. Stay away from each other a minute. And then this will pass. I'm going to tell you something. It takes one generation. One. This stuff really has nowhere else to go because it moves whenever you move. And it can't move without you. It's not like other viruses that's in the air. No, it only moves when you move. Take some collective responsibility, not just for yourself and the value that you have to the collective, meaning the rest of us. Because one day and you do understand that most black Americans are broke. So you're not going to have no headstone. 80% of you will not have a headstone. What you will have is a vase with your name on it. It's far, 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 far cheaper. In which sooner or later, this won't take more than the generation either. They will misplace or lose or forget your ashes. That's that's ugly, ain't it? But that's the thought that I want to leave you with. Enjoy the rest of your morning. I'm so